my eyes. Shining my generating the little lows. She's putting me on blast. Oh, yeah. And there's a road who has to get on. He's just an old outcast. Can we all say the O-N-E-S-O-N? Hashtag. Wait a minute. At last, it's a Doneson podcast.
Welcome back to season 3 of the damn Doneson podcast. And damn, I think this is sneaking up on me.
Already?
Damn, and we just started season 3. Yeah, how's everybody doing?
Amazing.
Great. You know, this is a new season of the Doneson podcast, but
This is true.
since we've been gone, you know, I've had some experience with dating. I had some experience with
Oh,
meeting new
Lord, here we
people.
go.
With
Here
meeting
we
new
go.
people.
You in this date pool, man. I don't know.
But with Cove and tornadoes and all of those
Yeah.
disasters, stuff like that, I had a thing of envy, right?
Tell us more.
Yeah.
Right. So I see how, with dating, I see how women treat their pets.
Yeah. Okay. Y'all almost one and the same.
America, I'm a dog. So I was walking one day on the sidewalk, and then I saw this lady playing with this dog, and I had an epiphany. I mean, is that how you pronounce it?
Epiphany?
Yeah, okay.
Epiphany?
Epiphany.
I don't know what epiphany is.
I mean, they skipped me. I guess I shouldn't have got skipped.
Okay, yeah, you skipped that grade. Yeah. Anyway,
I guess because I missed out on a lot of things.
Yeah, you
but,
might need to go back. But
one thing that I started daydreaming about when how she was treating her dog, I said, you know what? When it comes to dating, I wouldn't mind being treated like a dog.
Oh.
What?
I mean, I really wish more women would treat y'all like dogs. That would cure, you know.
when I was like listening to her, she didn't know that I was recording her. And I was daydreaming about it. And this is what it sounded like.
Oh, Lord, here we go.
Come here, boy. Come here, Rod. That boy. Let your fiance get you something to eat. You've been a good boy. Yeah, you have. I'm so happy to see you. We'll watch Netflix together. Even your favorite show, Bruce Leroy. And as a treat, we'll listen and watch the Doneson podcast together. Boogie boo.
Oh, Lord, have mercy.
So that's how you want to be talked to.
That's how I want to be talked to. You know what I'm saying? So,
Okay.
ladies, if you out there listening, I want to be treated like a dog.
Ooh, y'all heard him. You heard it here first.
Right. Hey,
Treat him like Cujo.
Cujo. Whoa, wait. I don't want to be all that slobbering.
Yeah, let's take it there.
I don't want to be all that slobbering. They be like, hey,
Cujo.
come here, boy.
Cujo was no joke.
Yeah. Especially if they see all that slobbering on.
You know
They be
what?
like, come here,
You know
go.
what was you about to say?
Nothing. Okay. All right, everyone. So I just want everybody to know for season 3, check us out every Monday for the audio version of the Doneson podcast, and every Wednesday we're going to be on the YouTube channel, the Doneson podcast.
Awesome.
All right.
All
So
right,
check
now.
that. So how's it been going, man? I know it's season 3.
Yeah, it's going good, man. Couldn't make it home this year. COVID,
Oh wow,
got me on lockdown. So, what can I say?
man, COVID is the new cops, huh?
Better do it. Patrolling the world, what you said.
Get your ass in the house now. Montana, how's it been going? I know it's been a while. This is season 3. Glad to see you.
Yes, I'm glad to be here. It's been going great. No complaints. Or whether I won't complain, I could find one. But
I know, right?
I'm here. Glad to be in the building.
Oh, great. And Oliver, how's it going, mate?
Uncle Rico, Shanna Montana,
What's up?
Andy, and Rod. Let's give the people what they've been waiting for.
All right now.
Pure, uncut, Dope. You can really feel it dissolve the cartilage in your nose.
I'm about to go.
Andy, man, you're something else, man. I'm sorry, Oliver. I'm calling. All right, yeah,
You know
whatever. Andy, man, welcome back, man. What's up?
Hello, everyone. This show's on the good shit lollipop is a sweet trip to a candy shop where bonbons play on the sunny beach of Peppermint Bay. Glad to be back among some of the finest uppity Negroes the podcast industry has to offer.
All right, so we're back. So let's get right into it. It's time for Gossip in the City.
Gossip in the City is sponsored by Bootylicious. Eat it like groceries.
Bootylicious.
Moss Point, Mississippi. In Mississippi, everybody is sleeping with everybody, girlfriend. The unemployment rate has dropped because everybody's selling ass, booty, butthole. In the words of the Mississippi Mass Choir, no, I'm not tired yet. Fort Smith, Virginia.
What you talking about, Andy?
The latest gossip that I heard was Ralph Anderson's wife, who works for the post office, was caught sleeping with other guys at work. From what I heard, the husband is still doing a recount. I hope he tells the mail-in balance.
Oh, boy.
Dayton, Ohio. The word on the streets has it that Tululu had pictures out there in the streets and wondered why she couldn't find a date child. Girlfriend, I've seen your selfies. We all seen your selfies in the bathroom mirror at work. Get yourself together and put on a bra, you nasty bitch. This is brought to you by Bootylicious.
Bootylicious is wild.
It's good to be back,
man.
y'all. All right, let's jump into, we do this where we ask 4 questions.
It's the Doneson Trivial Show. This is how it goes. You're asked 4 questions. You have to get 3 out of 4 right. If not, you're a dumbass. And here's your host, Rod.
So we got Andy up. I know y'all happy that Andy is your ass. All right. Andy, first question. We're going to play that Doneson trivia, right? So the first question, Andy. Number 1, the first recorded recipe for apple pie. What is in it? The first recorded recipe for apple pie, was it in England or America? Andy?
I got my cherry busted lots of times in America. But apple pie, I shall not tell a lie. I chopped down that apple tree, and I'll do it again. I'll go with America for sure.
You're wrong, Andy.
Too bad, so sad.
It's England. All right, second question, Andy. The blue whale heartbeat. The world's largest animal's heart weighs about 400 pounds, approximately the size of a small piano. How many miles away can you hear its heartbeat? Is it A, 3/4 of a mile? A, 2 miles, or B, 3/4 of a mile?
Oh my. Little Richard and Liberace on the piano at the same damn time. It takes 2 to tango. Let's go with 3/4 of a mile, Rod.
You're wrong, Andy.
Andy,
You may be a dumbass, but hey, if you get these last 2, we might help you out.
God.
All right. Andy, number 3. How many grapes go into 1 bottle of wine? A, 700, or B, 450?
Are we talking Boone's Farm or Wild Irish Road? I prefer a chateau. I'll say 450.
Andy, your ass is wrong again.
We need to kick Andy out the show. He don't know nothing.
All right, Andy, look, man, since this is the first time, if you get this one right, we're going to go ahead and, give you the victory here. Now, if Facebook, question number 4, if Facebook was a country, how many more people would it have based off China's 1.4 billion population? 1 billion, or B, 248 million?
This is as easy as scoring on the first date with me. I'll say 248 million like the carats in my pinky ring.
Andy, you're wrong. You're a
You
dumbass.
motherfuckers. Okay, all right. I'm putting cases on all you bitches. Huh? You think you can do this shit? Rod, Uncle Rico, Shadow Montana. You think you could do this to me? You motherfuckers will be doing a podcast in Pelican Bay. But I can finish with you monkey asses.
Man. I was dumbass last time. Wait, at least I ain't alone.
Look, you gotta leave it to
You
a
get
woman to
2
get it
of them
right.
right, Anna. I got 2 right. God damn.
You gotta leave it to a woman to get it
Oh
right.
my gosh. Who
Poor Andy.
we don't know who's gonna be next.
We don't
on
know.
Doneson Trivia.
Yeah.
But Shanna Montana,
Yes.
let's get it.
All right.
En la ciencia.
You wrote me? It's just something about this later. Montana is the crazy. Do you want my opinion? It's maybe game over for ya. Really, 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 really.
All right. So send your game over letter to www.doneson.com or Doneson_leagues on Instagram. And today's letter, the title is Free Education on Racism, anyone? The name, they only gave initials, BW. They are from Dayton, Ohio, and the age group of this person, they put between 35 and 45. So it seems they wanted to remain kind of anonymous. So let's get into it. I was sent to a Catholic school from the public school when I was 11 years of age. Thursday was mass sit down, stand, kneel, stand up, and then the playground at the top of the hill was really when class was in session. Racism 101. You black jelly bean, I would hear kids say in groups as I passed them by. I would hear kids. Rod, I'm not doing this with you. You black jelly bean. I would hear kids say in groups as I passed by them and say something like, don't be racist. Racism is a crime and crime is for black people. And they would laugh out loud. My God. And we would walk right back down the hill and go to a class called religion. And the same kids that had all the black jokes, well, answer questions on how to be the best Catholic in society. This is where I learned lying and hypocrisy meant the same thing. It was nothing to them. How are they so emboldened? When I look back on it, instead of a training ground for territory groups, that school was a training ground for racists. They knew how to blend in and whisper racist remarks in class so that you could hear them when you're up at the chalkboard, and best of all, the teachers. When I complained, they would always ask what was said, and over again, they would say, that's not racist. I think you all just need to talk it out. I'm sure it was a misunderstanding. Picture this. 20 years later, as an adult, I experienced coworkers that have been to racist training camps from all over the country. Destination corporate America. They know when to whisper, just like when there weren't any teachers around. When the bosses are not around, here come the racial jokes in the break room or at the lunch table. I go to quote unquote HR, and I've been told after talking to them, they didn't really mean anything by it. What they said is not considered racist. I think you all just need to talk. Weeks later, well, what do you know? It's diversity training for the whole company. In other words, just like in grade school, if I said something to Lily, it's a global crisis and I'm in the principal's office. In corporate America, I'm fired. No diversity training. They think that inviting me to lunch, I should feel privileged, just like in grade school. You can sit at our table as long as you're funny. Make us laugh. In grade school, I was laughed at for saying axing, only to be corrected as the whole class laughed. Say ask and then king, the teacher would tell me out loud. Corporate America, they love to tell you how you're mispronouncing a word or you're not speaking correct English. Corporate America, the first 2 weeks of training is crucial in learning how to do your job. If you're new to a certain industry, your toast won't get help. Their favorite phrase when you ask them a question about the process, how long have you been here? But let Lily, right out of college on her 4th week, ask a question. You'll have 20 people around her giving her help. The same thing I used to hear and see from that racist training camp. My parents paid at the time $4,000 a year for tuition. And I didn't see it on the curriculum, but I was automatically enrolled into advanced racism. Ask me, did I receive a great education? And I'll tell you, yes. My parents sent me to school and I thank them for this. I learned about how many different ways you could hate a black person and hide it. How at an early age, they are taught that no matter how racist you are towards someone, we have systems in place to protect you. Layers and layers of chances. And get this, it's like the mob and everyone is in on it. You probably drive by a racist camp every day and didn't even know it. Signed, LMBAO. And I'm assuming that's laughing my black ass off. You know, they started with a bang and ended with a bang.
Oh, wow.
So this was just to just tell us the thoughts that they're having.
Right.
Oh, okay.
You know, Shanna Montana, I know you're a career woman. I know you're originally from Mississippi.
This is true.
Grew up in, I believe, Chicago.
I was born in Chicago and raised in Mississippi.
Okay. Have you experienced any type of racism, whether it be in corporate America, school, college, anything that, even going to a damn restaurant, anything that you want to share?
I would say I'm very fortunate that growing up in Mississippi, honestly, I really did not encounter a lot of racism. And you would think I'm from the South. I don't know about it. Moss Point, Mississippi. Look it up if you've never heard of it. We're down near Biloxi, Gulfport, not far from New Orleans. But I was very blessed. I really didn't encounter a lot of it in school, high school, college. In corporate America, I haven't. But where I have encountered it, where it's been sometimes subtle, sometimes blatant, but I'm in a place in my life where I'm going to directly address it.
Right.
It's when I am going out to patronize a business.
What?
So from it being, racism can not always be verbal. So, the energy shifts, people are looking at you. You see, people being placed at a priority over you. You see sometimes it's small, sometimes it's very apparent. But I would say just out in the world, I've experienced it more. And nothing that has been, to what some may say the extreme, but I feel like racism, whether it's 1% or 100%, is racism. I don't care what level it is.
Right.
So, I would say in that way I have, but the fortunate thing, the space and place that I'm in now, I don't care what color you are. You aren't going to disrespect me in any way, shape, form, or fashion. So I think that in my experiences with that out in different places, I've just kind of handled it on spot.
Right.
Because if nothing else, I'm good for contacting corporate office and I'm good for asking for a manager. So
is that how you handle the blatant?
Yeah, I think, and I mainly, when I think about the most times, because, I go out, I travel, I do things. And so I've experienced it really just in that kind of industry, moving around with like employees, because if I walk in a restaurant and somebody looks at me sideways, I don't really care about you. You don't know me, I don't know you.
Right.
But I think when you come in and you deal with employees or you deal with certain people where you can see you're handling this person this way, trying to handle me a different way,
right?
That's like, this is not going to happen, know. And I think in my experience, once I addressed it head on and let them know that I clearly see what's happening and that it's not going to happen, it's been fixed right away. So,
I haven't been the one to write reviews, but I'm starting to now.
I'll write a review while I'm sitting in your restaurant.
You okay?
You treat me, I will email corporate right there. I don't play.
I think that's the answer.
It is. And I feel like, I had an experience with, say, like Delta Airlines.
Yeah.
And they have millions of clients, and I get it. I'm only one person, but my dollars count, and I don't care if I'm just one person. Whoever needs to hear this message is going to hear it, and I'm going to be acknowledged for how I feel. So I think that, on the level of what we can do, we can't change it all at one time, but you can change it one experience at a time.
Right.
At least for yourself. It works for me.
If you don't mind, I just wanted to just a bit different as far as, can we bring up Delta Airlines?
Yeah.
So was it before you got on the plane or when you were on the plane or after?
I would say, and I hate that I call Delta Airlines out. I don't think it was just them. Just say airlines. They just came to mind.
Delta Airlines is great.
I would say Doneson Legal. I'm like, yeah, they're great. It's no certain airline, but I've experienced things where, and some people may not pay attention to it, but say, I'll say another person that's not of color gets on the plane before me and it's like a good morning. And then I get on and it's not one. Or I ask you for something and it takes like half of the flight for you to do it. But I see you fervently helping somebody next to me, So it's like, we have all paid to be on this flight. So let's treat everyone accordingly.
Right.
So in situations like that, it's just been on various flights because I fly with a lot of different airlines.
Right.
But in that case, I'm looking at your name tag. What it say?
Oh,
somebody's going to hear about this. So
yes.
I'm not the 1, the 2, or the 3 to play with when it comes to service and things of that nature.
Right. What you think about this letter or any instances of that you've experienced in your lifetime? If you want to walk us through it.
Well,
Or you got a story.
Let it.
well, I do because I'm a 50th child.
Okay.
So I remember the colored only water fountains. So I grew up in that era, and at a point of my time as a young man, I didn't know it was racism. I didn't know what it was because I was young.
Right.
And I remember going to a restaurant downtown in Virginia, Portsmouth, Virginia, with my mom.
Right.
We were downtown. I said, Mom, I'm hungry. She said, come on, let's get something to eat. And I headed towards the front door. She grabbed me by the hand, and we went through the side. And they handed us our food out a cut hole in the side of the...
Ooh, they still got stuff like that in Mississippi today.
Yeah.
What?
And I didn't know. I was just hungry, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But as you grow older, you begin to understand what's going on, So I experienced it firsthand.
Right.
It's not nice. It's an ugly thing. And today, what's so ironic about it, I got family members, man, that I love dearly, and they it's interracial relationships, marriages and stuff in my family.
Right.
And we love each other like crazy, man. We go on trips together and everything.
Right.
But when you look back at it, man, some people just a lot of ignorance.
Yeah.
A whole lot of ignorance in this world, man. I posted something the other day on Facebook. I said, man, we live in a world of corruption, greed, manipulation, and lies. And so much of that is just transparent today, more so than ever in my lifetime, that it's just an ugly thing, man.
Yeah.
Like I said, and you experience it, like you said, on jobs.
Yeah.
You see how they treat your white employees compared to your black employees. As a matter of fact, I had an incident on a job where I watched a security guard, because we got to go through these metal detectors and everything.
Right.
You come in and take COVID tests and everything. They screen and take a temperature and everything. And I watched this white guard, go off on these guys, man. They was of African descent.
Right.
He was screaming and all like he was about to
attack them, probably.
Yeah.
Right.
And I'm just standing there. I'm a supervisor. I'm just standing there. I'm looking at him. I'm like,
Right.
Then he turned and he looked at me. He knew who I was.
Yeah.
He kind of calmed down. You know what I'm saying? But I'm like, and now whenever I go through that trap, he trying to go the other way. You know what I'm saying?
I don't want to see you.
No, because I'm looking at, I ain't saying nothing. I'm just looking at you. I'm like, man, are you serious?
Yeah.
It ain't that crucial.
Not at all.
Right.
Not necessary.
So you to act like that.
So why do you think they act like that? Is it just
I believe mostly it's taught. Racism is taught, man.
Yeah.
That's a taught thing. They learned that at an early age in the house.
right?
Or they
Because-
taught other places. I agree with that.
right.
Or they've been, sometimes, I would say early age. Because I think by the time, even when you get to like college age and stuff like that, it's already in you at that point. I could be 1,000% wrong, but I don't think you wake up as like a 35-year-old and like, oh,
I'm going to be a racist.
I'm be a racist. today.
No.
I think
It's
it
just a
really
taught
worked that way.
thing, man.
Yeah.
It's taught early on because, they done did all kind of psychological tests. And you see like little babies, they show you all the time. You have a little white baby, a little black baby, man. They play together, they laugh and having all kind of fun.
Right.
They don't know no better.
Yeah.
Right.
So as they grow up, if it ain't taught, they still wouldn't know no better.
Right.
That stuff is taught, man.
Yeah, and that's why, like, growing up in Mississippi, I had
It's
several
a taught
white best
thing.
friends to this day.
Right.
You know, and so it was crazy for people to see that. And I'm like, yeah, like, those are, those
are my girls,
Those are my
yeah.
girls. They weren't my sisters. Like, they weren't taught like that. So
Right.
it's no difference. Their moms, my mom, we all love each other the same, you know?
Right.
So, yeah, I agree. That's absolutely what it is.
It's taught thing.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, wow, man. That's some good experience.
Yeah.
Oliver, what do you think about this letter, man?
Mate, this is utterly a failed society. American history is like putting a rug over a shit stain and you can still smell it. It's 2021. You better get it together. Come on, America. Step up.
Get it together.
Get it together. I hear y'all.
Andy,
I'm with you.
And
Andy, what you think, Andy?
I'm scared of what Andy gonna
Willie Lynch couldn't have said it better himself, these young fools. These racist, sneaky imposters. Just to think there are racist training camps right in our own backyards. Send in the Navy SEALs to eradicate before it spreads all over America. Oh, wait. It's already too late.
All right. So episode 1 of season 3, and for the next 4 episodes, we're pretty much going to talk about the theme of slavery. And
Okay.
it's going to be a breakdown. So one of the main things is why slavery? And the most basic purpose of slavery is to rid oneself of work and force the hideous labor upon someone else. All right. Now, cotton, and let's just go back in history. Let's just break it all down. Now, cotton was one of the world's first luxury commodities. Britain, the most powerful nation in the world, relied on slave-produced American cotton for over 80% of its essential industrial raw materials. All right. Britain's middle class were seeking a fabric which would meet their demands for durability and ease of washing. So the European colonial, with the abundant land that they had discovered in the Americas, was useless without significant labor to exploit it. All right. Bingo. Slavery systems of labor exploitation were preferred, but neither European nor Native American sources proved adequate to the task. So let's remove Indians from their land. At the beginning of the 1830s, nearly 125,000 Native Americans lived on millions of acres of land in Georgia, Tennessee, Alabama, North Carolina, and Florida. Land their ancestors had occupied and cultivated for generations. But their land was valuable, very valuable. And it grew to be more coveted as white settlers flooded the region. Now, many of these whites yearned to make their fortunes by growing cotton, and they did not care how civilized their native neighbors were. They wanted that land, and they would do almost anything to get it. They stole livestock, burned and looted houses and towns, committed mass murder, and unlawfully occupied land that did not belong to them. All right. Even the president of the United States, George Washington, believed that the best way to solve the Indian problem was simply to civilize the Native Americans. The goal of the civilization campaign was to make Native Americans as much like white Americans as possible by encouraging them to convert to Christianity. Yeah, that's right. And learn to speak and read English and adopt European-style economic practices such as individual ownership of land and other property. The rapid expansion of the I was like, damn, Xerox is back then? The rapid expansion of the copy industry?
Copy machine.
Yeah. The rapid expansion of the cotton industry in the Deep South after the invention of the cotton gin greatly increased the demands for slave labor. Now, what were the few benefits of slavery? Let's break them down, all right? Number one, the United States became a superpower or a powerhouse, right? The bodies of enslaved served as Americans' largest financial asset. Slavery was so profitable, it sprouted more millionaires per capita in the Mississippi River Valley than anywhere in the nation. With cash crops of tobacco, cotton, and sugarcane, American southern states became the economic engine of the United States of America. Number two, white wealth. So by 1860, there were more millionaires or slaveholders living in the lower Mississippi Valley than anywhere else in the United States. In 1860, the value of the slaves were roughly 3 times greater than the total amount invested in banks. And it was equal to about 7 times the total value of all currency in circulation in the country, 3 times the value of the entire livestock population, 12 times the value of the entire U.S. Cotton Corps, and 48 times the total expenditure of the federal government that year. The invention of the cotton gin greatly increased the productivity of cotton harvesting by slaves, this resulting in dramatically higher profits for planters, which in turn led to an increase in the demand for more slaves. This was a savage, brutal, and vicious cycle. All right. Let's just go over just a few of the effects, and I get you guys' opinion.
I can't wait.
The effects of this was, number one, social beliefs. Many whites believe, especially members of their class, should not perform manual labor. Rather, they created an identity for themselves based on a world of leisure and entertainment to the highest class. Despite this unequal distribution of wealth, non-slaveholding whites shared with white planters a common set of values, most notably a belief in white supremacy. Whites, whether rich or poor, were bound together by racism. Slavery diffused class. Tensions among them became, no matter how poor you are, white Southerners had race in common with the mighty plantation owners. Non-slaveholders accepted the rule of the planters as defenders of their shared interests in maintaining a racial hierarchy. Significantly, all whites were also bound together by constant prevailing fear of slave uprising. Sounds familiar? Number 2, Jim Crow. Jim Crow by 1838 had become an expression meaning Negro. When Southern legislators passed laws of racial segregation directed against black people at the end of the 19th century, these statutes became known as Jim Crow laws. All right. Now, these laws were intended to restrict social contact between the whites and other groups to limit the freedom of opportunity of colored people. In the former Confederacy and neighboring states, local governments constructed a legal system aimed at reestablishing a society based on white supremacy. African American men were largely barred from voting. Jim Crow laws separated people of color with whites in schools, housing, jobs, and public gatherings and places. All right. Denying black men the right to vote, though legal maneuvering and violence was the first step in taking away their civil rights. Beginning in the 1890s, Southern states enacted literacy tests, poll taxes, elaborate registration system. Sounds kind of slimmer. Damn. And eventually whites-only Democratic Party primaries to exclude black voters. All right. Now, the laws provided very effective. They proved to be very effective in Mississippi. Fewer than 9,000 of, get this, listen to this. Fewer than 9,000 of the 147,000 voting age African Americans was registered at 1890. In Louisiana, where more than 130,000 black voters had been registered. In 1896, the number had plummeted to 1,300 by 1904. Okay. Shannon Montana, your thoughts? It kind of hits close to home. Your shot,
I'm just rolling my eyes the whole time. Because you started out talking about benefits of slavery. They don't even go in the same sentence. I don't give a damn how much money they made or what they did. It was not one benefit to slavery for black people. It was nothing good that came of that, and we are still, unfortunately, suffering from the effects of that and the idea that white supremacy exists because of people's, grandfathers and grandfathers and grandfathers. So I think it's all BS. We could have all done without it.
Right.
We could have made money another way. But also, my comment is, it's really hilarious that they say laugh to keep from crying. I'm gonna say it's funny that they came on somebody else's land. It's like you coming in my house and saying, Shane, I need you to go upstairs.
You need to get out.
You need to go up there and learn how to speak my language and learn my religion in my house. Like, what are you talking about? Like,
Wow.
That's what's nuts. I mean, it's so many things that are insane. You know, even the fact that we celebrate Christopher Columbus Day. You know, only Christopher I celebrate is Notorious B.I.G. Only Christopher I'm celebrating. It's his birthday. So yeah, I'm gonna just stop right there.
Baby.
Yeah.
All right.
I love it when they call me Big Papa. Because that's the only one I'm calling Big Papa. Yeah, this is enough.
Oh, wow. Hey,
It's too much.
does anything of this sound familiar, or is this totally separate from what goes on today?
No, it's still happening, man.
Ain't it crazy that it still sounds so familiar?
You know, it's
Yeah.
it's just like
Is this-
how would I put this? It's racism, you know, man, this world, this country, it allows the white supremacist groups to operate and move so freely around the United States.
They get to even live in the White House. Ain't that
But
crazy? You could have become president.
They can party at the White House, Capitol.
But
Yeah.
let me finish. But another group outside of this country, they terrorists.
That's it.
We got homebred terrorists right here. We need to deal with them the same way
Right.
we deal with those overseas.
Talk to me.
You can't let a terrorist group overseas run around rampant because you're going to go deal with them.
Right.
Well, you got to deal with the same ones right here in this country the same way. Round them up, lock them up, and get rid of them.
Right.
That's it.
If you want to clean it up, then start in your own backyard.
Right.
You're going to go all overseas and try to clean up stuff just so you can institute your policies.
Right.
But you won't even make your own policy true in the own country you live in.
Right.
Hello, somebody.
Hello.
It's just hypocrisy all over the place, man.
Yeah.
Right.
And I just look at it sometimes, man. I just shake my head. Man, this is crazy.
Right.
Like, I hate it here.
This is crazy. You're going to go deal with terrorism all over the world and won't deal with it in your own backyard.
Right. Man.
Man, get away from here with me. Miss me with that. You know what I'm saying? Serious, man. Miss me with that because we've been terrorized in this country ever since they brought us over here illegally.
Right.
Still being terrorized illegally.
Right.
Systemic racism on jobs. It's all over the place, man.
Right.
We got to constantly got to deal with it. And like my brother said, I put the guy the rap song, we see the police car, the first thing we do is cringe up.
Yeah.
When they're supposed to be here to protect us.
Right.
Don't even want to call the police.
Yeah.
Right.
That's crazy. That's backwards.
Yeah.
And they talk about defund the police. It ain't that we as black people don't realize we need police. We need good police officers.
Right. Big
That's
difference.
what we need.
Right.
It ain't about defunding, taking the money away from the police officer, say, we don't need the police. No. See, that's the twist they put on it
Right.
for their own agenda.
Yeah.
But we know we need the police department, man. Come on, man. Everybody want to be protected.
Right.
But don't let your protection neglect you doing right by me because of the color of my skin.
Right.
That's it.
That's all we saying. Just treat me the same way you're gonna treat your own.
Right.
And I'm good. I give you some money. I'll donate to you. But you ain't gonna do that. You follow what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
It's crazy, man. Miss
Yeah.
me with all the dumbness, man. I'm just tired of it.
Right. Andy, what you think about this?
This shit sounds ridiculous. This is like an episode of The Have and the Have-Nots. Harriet, get the damn dough. The damn doorbell doesn't work because we have no dough. We have no dough because I can't work anymore. What's taking so long for the damn stimulus check to arrive? I should have divorced your broke ass a long time ago.
I still ain't got mine either. I ain't get my stim either.
Yeah, I think we make too much. All right. Well, thank you for tuning in to the Doneson podcast. We see y'all next week.
Peace out.
Peace
Peace out.
Deuce.